Hey y'all, this is YeahManThePodcast, episode 18, man. Today we're gonna talk about Stone Cold versus The Rock. Today we got our guest host, Adrian Sledge.
What's up? What's up?
And as always, we have Ben the Awesome Newsom. And I'm JP the Creator, man. And today, I'm here to say that The Rock is better than Stone Cold, but they disagree with me for some reason. I don't understand why.
I have extreme disagreement with that, but we'll get to that.
Okay, so I like Stone Cold, first of all, man.
Why you hating on him then?
I'm not hating on him. I just feel like The Rock is better. I really do like Stone Cold, man. I feel like The Rock is a better athlete.
Okay.
So basically, what are we talking about The Rock and Stone Cold? What are we comparing? Are we comparing as far as wrestling skills and what they can do in the ring, or marketability? What are we comparing?
I think you're kind of hitting on all the buttons, like the marketability, wrestling skills in general, and then like career wise, we talked about it earlier. Stone Cold's had a longer career than The Rock, obviously, but marketing wise, like The Rock had the Poontang Pie shirts and the rock bottom and all this stuff. Like he had the hair, he had like the look, the eyebrow, the people's elbow, and like he connected to the crowd. But as far as Stone Cold's concerned, he connected to the crowd as in like everybody's wanted to stun it. Everybody's wanted to like walk up to their boss, kick him in the stomach, and give him a Stone Cold Stunner. Like it's just.
But see, to me, Stone Cold was like a rebel, and then The Rock was like, man, too cool for school.
He is like okay. The Rock was like the Fonz, and Stone Cold was like that guy from Breakfast Club, the bully from Breakfast Club. He the one that ran to the gym. He was like running around talking about 3, 2, 1 and shooting and all that. That's him. Like, that's Stone Cold. That's who I like. Because sometimes, there's times where, I have bosses that I want to, just man, if I could Stone Cold Stone you right now, I would. Like, and if I could Stone Cold Stone you and get away with it and not get assault charge, I would. I mean,
what The Rock just said, it don't matter what you think. I mean, how cool is
it? It doesn't matter. What he's like, it doesn't. What he say? He's like, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
But it's so cool, man. Like, how do you beat that?
Because Stone Cold, who else has somebody in the crowd, whoever it is, throwing beers, and he's throwing beer at his boss. Full cans of beer, throwing them at him. Like, he tried to talk, and he just throw them at him. He's just throwing beer at him. Not the
I think both of them equally were box office draws. They drew a lot of money.
Right.
They drew a lot of money. Both of them, I think for his microphone, their gimmick and what they did on the microphone, I think it's almost equal. I don't think one is better than the other in that aspect. Like I said, the only thing that separates them is their technical skills and their in-ring skills. And when they came to, The Rock was probably athletic, just like Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Just like Goldberg. Them guys were very athletic, but they wasn't good ring technicians at all. They couldn't carry a match.
Right.
And that's where the difference is. You look at The Rock as a whole. Let's be honest. What wrestling move did The Rock actually do?
Besides the rock bottom and the people's elbow, nothing.
Heck, what wrestling move did he do?
But what wrestling move did Hulk Hogan do?
Hulk Hogan?
We're not talking about
Hulk Hogan.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. Is that...
Okay. I put him in that category, too. They had a lot of gimmicks.
But they ain't had no wrestling moves.
But wrestling is gimmick.
It was not good wrestling.
Because wrestling is gimmick.
but Stone Cold, if you look at Stone Cold as a whole, like he not only he had a stunner, he could run you around the ring, like he could run around the ring with you, and he could keep a match going. But like The Rock, huh?
No, nothing. So when Stone Cold debuted like in 1989, he was part of WCCW, which was in Texas, and then he moved over to the NWA WCW. You gotta remember, Stone Cold was a technical wrestler at first. He started off as a technical wrestler. He didn't become a brawler until the Attitude Era of the WWE. But he started off as a technical wrestler. And he held many titles. He was he wore the United States WCW United States television title. He was a tag team champion with Brian Pillman. So before he even came, then you remember when he first came to the WWF, he was the ringmaster. He was a technical wrestler.
Okay, yeah, and I remember him. I think it was with a Steamboat, Ricky Steamboat, and I was looking at like a magazine. It was a couple of years. It was years and years ago. I was looking at a magazine. I was a kid. I was looking at a magazine. I was like, oh, he had hair. He had hair back then. I was like, I recognize Stone Cold as a bald guy. You know.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, and he had the golden locks, kind of like kind of Terry Bradshaw. Not Bradshaw. I'm sorry, not the football player. Bradshaw, the other Bradshaw. You know what I'm talking about?
JBL.
Yeah. He had the double J or whatever his name was. He had the golden locks and all that. And I never knew him because I was too young. I knew him as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like I never knew him as, stunning Steve Austin. Like I had to kind of look. I had to go back in time to see that.
Yeah. So when you look at both of them wrestlers, man, like both of them, like I said, I think as far as bringing the draw and a better athletic wrestler, then also you got to remember by time Rock really got to where he was. Steve Austin was grounded because of a lot of it.
Right.
And, so he could not do the aerial stuff like the Rock, but yeah, the Rock is a physical specialist. I think there's a lot of more athletic wrestlers than Stone Cold. I can go down the list, but being athletic doesn't make you a good wrestler, anyway wrestler. Like, for example, when you look at a lot of times, you look at the matches Stone Cold had with Triple H compared to The Rock.
Right.
When Stone Cold, when you look at Triple H matches with The Rock, man, Triple H carried those matches, man. He carried those matches.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And that's
When you look at some of the major matches between the both of them, which matches were more entertaining? For example, I was just watching before we came on. I was watching the WrestleMania match between Stone Cold and Bret Hart. Stone Cold is able to carry a match and with some of the best wrestlers. Where when you look at The Rock, not so much. But I thought, like, for example, The Rock and Stone Cold, I thought that was terrible. I thought that was a terrible match.
But you gotta understand though, between The Rock and what I like about The Rock is like every move was like electric. You know what I mean? It's kind of like with Hulk Hogan. It's like every move was electric because to me he kind of like The Rock is kind of like Cena. They don't have like a lot of moves, but when they drop a move, it's like wow. And it's like it's impactful because they both look like they in the gym. You know what I mean? So when you look at them and they slam you, like, okay, I see that. And that kind of like Hulk Hogan had. Because Hulk Hogan probably had like 10 moves, but when he hits you with something, it's like, oh, okay.
But that's the whole thing about Stone Cold. Like he don't look like he's in the gym. He looks like that old, that old guy that's on the corner drinking beer, but he can still scoop slam somebody. And then you're waiting for that. You waiting for that one move that he's gonna do, but he still carried the match too. And he be losing, and then he he'd be ready, and just catch it with that stutter, and he just catch it with the stutter. It's like, I was like, oh, the stutter, he hit with the stutter. I mean, he walked up, Sledge, you remember that one time when he walked out? You remember Steven Regal, the little British dude?
Yeah.
You remember him, Sledge?
Yeah, Steven Regal, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about one time while I'm on Facebook, I'm just kind of scrolling through, and I see some WWE stuff, and Stone Cold walks up there. Steven Regal about to start reading a story or something, right? The Stone Cold music goes off. Stone Cold come down there, kick Steven Regal, he kicked him and stunned him and walked off. He's like, I guess Stone Cold didn't want to hear Steven Regal's story. Like, who does that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his gimmicks just like you're like, what's he gonna do next? What's he gonna do now? Like, every time his music went off, you get excited because like he's gonna do something. Or he's gonna say something. And the one that really caught me is when he told Vince McMahon to kiss his ass. He's like, well, hell, you kiss my ass, and he stunned him.
Okay, but can he play the guitar? Can he the
What's
Rock
the guitar got to do with
the Rock is an entertainer, man. Like,
and Stone Cold is too.
Yeah, but how many times can you say that? You can say that because of the attitude era, okay, and I get it.
And the attitude era still carries over into this time too.
But can you?
He can't hide fly.
You don't know what the Rock gonna do. You know something.
I don't think the Rock would have been a star without the Attitude Era. Stone Cold was already a star before the Attitude Era, and luckily the Rock was able to benefit. He was able to benefit off of the off of the benefit to be able to deal with the benefit of the Attitude Era.
Right.
And but you remember when he first came into WWE, he had a horrible gimmick. He had a horrible gimmick. And he was a horrible wrestler. He was horrible.
Yeah, so they had to come up with something to get him, because he was going to be the future. Like, it's kind of like a rookie quarterback when they come in. They're not going to start off like great, except for Dak. You know, but we ain't gonna talk.
It's about the same thing with situation what y'all said. The Rock did not make a great impact when he came in. Remember, that's when everybody was chanting Rock himself, and then they tried to make him a heel, and then they hooked him up with the
Nation
Domination.
Nation
Domination. Farouk.
So when he got hooked up with them, then he was able to try to create something. He became a heel, trying to create something out of it. I don't think he would have been successful without this. He needed that because he was horrible. He was a horrible in-ring performer. He first started. Where when you look at Stone Cold, who was a consistent kind of his state. He was a mid-card wrestler for years. Until after that King of the Ring. The King of the Ring kind of catapulted him to main event status.
You talking about when he beat Jay the Snake?
Yeah, the King of the Ring kind of put him in main event status, and that was pretty much a birth. The Stone Cold birthed the actual Attitude Era. Let's be real about that.
Yeah, he did. He had the attitude where it's like, I don't care, you can't tell me nothing, and I'm gonna do whatever hell I want to do.
Now that Awesome 316 was cool. That Awesome 316 was cool when he beat Jake Snake. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it changed the course. It changed the course. So he was the, you want to call him the father of the Attitude Era. That's what I call it. And The Rock has to figure his way and navigate his way through that. But I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, though. What you can't take away from The Rock. This is what you can't take from The Rock. The Rock is the first, let's be honest. He is the first African American to have that kind of star power in wrestling, in history, in all the wrestling. Yeah,
nobody knew he was African American though. They didn't know that until his dad. But nobody knew about his dad really, because
everybody knew he was black when he played for the Miami Hurricanes. So we knew when he came in he was black.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they you know he played for Miami Hurricanes. That's what I'm saying. I've been watching wrestling, but people knew he was black.
I was too young to know that. Like, I heard through the great, like when they talked about him playing football that he played for the Hurricane. Like, well, hell, what position did he play?
He was defensive end.
Well, yeah, I know. I found out later on. Like he was defensive end, and he went to the CFL.
And then one set was a defensive tackle.
He went to Warsaw. You put Warsaw?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he started WWE, they said that Rocky Johnson was his father.
Right.
Right. I never knew who those people were. Like I'm not as old as y'all. I mean, no offense, but.
So now we'll say this, man. He is taking I feel like if it wasn't for the Rock, there wouldn't be no some of the as a matter of fact, when you look at it right now, when you look at it right now, the Rock pretty much opened that door because black wrestlers, they were subject to mid-card champions.
Yeah. So there wouldn't be no Bobby Lashley. There would be no Mark Henry.
Yeah. But here's the thing. But what they did that was perfect. They lined him up with the first African American World Heavyweight Champion in Ron Simmons. So lining him up with Ron Simmons to get that experience with me, and they counter him. So you can't take that with him, man. Rock is probably one of the besides, him and Booker T. So you think it's not a whole lot of. When you think about world champions, you think about you got The Rock, you got Booker T, you got Kofi Kingston, and who else?
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry won the world title?
He won a title. He won. I don't know the world, but he won a title. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about world title. I'm talking about world title. Ain't that many?
No,
there's not many of them at all. There's not. I don't think Mark Henry won a world title. He won. He might have won a title, but I don't know if it's a world title.
Yeah, he won.
Most of the black athletes are mid-card title holders, and but there's only a couple. Of world heavyweight champions, all black. And now, like I said, Ron Simmons, Booker T, The Rock, Kofi Kingston. That's four right there. I can't even think anymore.
Did Mark Henry win? I know he was world champion on was it SmackDown?
What about Lashley?
No, Lashley won the world title. He won the world title.
I think Mark Henry won one.
I don't think he won any of those. He did a whole bunch of gimmicks with like weightlifting and stuff like that.
Mark Henry was world champion.
He might have won the Intercontinental title of the U.S.
No, he won. No, he won the world. It wasn't that long though. He won the world. I don't know if it was on SmackDown or Raw, but he won it.
I don't think he's ever won world title.
Because y'all remember when they had the hardcore championship, then it turned to the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, I remember that.
The hardcore championship, it didn't matter who. It didn't matter. It could have been a commentator. It could have been a wrestler. It could have been a referee. Anybody could win a hardcore championship. And then all of a sudden it turns to the 24/7 championship. So I mean that alone. What's that black guy with the eyebrow tattoo? The eyebrow piercing.
Oh, you talking about?
I don't know his name. I seen him on Facebook too. I was watching it and
Hold up, man. I know who you.
the only way I catch up on wrestling now is when I watch it on Facebook because I just don't have an interest in it anymore because it's so watered down.
You're right. So he won the ECW championship and he won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
And to me, the World Heavyweight Championship is not championship.
Why do you say that?
Because, for example, there's two titles I don't believe that, like the World Heavyweight Championship and the Universal title, those ain't real championships to me. Because one, let me ask you a question. What's the highest championship in WWE? Is it the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship?
WWE.
The World Heavyweight Championship was just a belt. It really wasn't connected because they're trying to keep connected to a certain history, but it really wasn't connected to that.
But Universal is the number one, ain't it?
No, the WWE Championship is the highest championship.
Which one is the one on Raw?
Should be WWE Heavyweight Championship. Should be.
They should do work. I think they should, but when you look at it in a totality, man, The Rock has paved the way for a lot of wrestlers. He came in that Attitude Era, but he's more of a gimmick wrestler like Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, even Sting. Even Sting is a better wrestler than The Rock, and I can go with all the day. But of course, he's an entertainer. He's one of the best entertainers. He's one of the best. He's not.
He's one of the best. I mean, if we're going gimmick wise, and gimmick wise and wrestling wise, if we go kind of back and kind of look at it, I mean, y'all might not agree with me, but I think Ultimate Warrior was
R-Truth.
Yeah, R-Truth, that's his name.
He was a gimmick wrestler, but I couldn't wrestle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he Lord rest his soul, because he right after he got put in the WWE Hall of Fame, he passed away.
Right.
But he was a gimmick. He was a gimmick because he had them streamers coming from his arm, and he run down to the ring. He have his little face paint on, and he be getting slapped in the chest and all this other stuff. But he could wrestle. He could carry a match. And Macho Man Randy Savage, he could carry a match.
The Rock is a better wrestler than the Warrior, man.
Now, I would choose the Warrior anyway.
No.
I think Ultimate Warrior, because I think Ultimate Warrior Rock, he would have got him.
No, man. Because people were saying they carried the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, because Ultimate Warrior wasn't a good wrestler. Look, if you look at it, you know why, like him, Goldberg, why their matches were so short? Because they could not wrestle.
No, sometimes The Rock would wrestle a long time, though.
Who was that?
The Rock would wrestle for a minute.
Yeah, well, he was carried. A lot of times he was carried.
Right.
And, like, for example, Hulk Hogan, anytime he wrestled Ric Flair carried the match.
Right, because Ric Flair, woo, and he's slapping you in the chest and carrying on, and he probably telling him something in the ring while of course we can't tell, but he probably telling him like do this or do that. Like it's like being a supervisor, and it's like being a supervisor at work.
And the referee tells him stuff.
But overall, man, I would just like to leave just based on the totality of what they've done their entire career. I would have to go with Stone Cold. Just what they've done, because one thing Stone Cold was able to evolve in his career and do some different things. Successful in every aspect.
Yeah, he's got to go. What's that? Skull Island. He does a tough man show at Skull Island or something like that. He has memes all over. I mean, Rock does too.
I mean, but The Rock is all over.
Yeah, he's
all over.
I mean, the Stone Cold's been in Hollywood too.
Not like The Rock. That ain't even no comparison.
So if we're going Hollywood, of course, but that's what I'm saying.
Broken Skull.
The Rock, Broken Skull.
Yeah, that's his show.
That's Skull Island or something like that.
Broken Skull. I don't know.
But The Rock, he used WWE to catapult into the into the Hollywood scene, because we all know Triple H tried that too. Remember in Blade, was it like 3? He tried.
Rock was a tier one entertainer, man. And when you look at it now, when it comes to movies and all that, Stone Cold can't touch The Rock.
Right, of course.
Broken Skull Ranch.
Broken Skull Ranch. That's what it's called. Broken Skull Ranch. But I mean, career-wise, if we're looking at after wrestling, Stone Cold has done some things too. Broken Skull Ranch. He had a couple movies. It was in Expendables. He was in Longest Yard.
He ain't a movie though.
Huh?
He ain't making $20 million a movie though.
No, of course not. No, he's not making that. Like The Rock is killing it when it comes to movies.
You also got some of the y'all being in San Antonio. Stone Cold had gotten a lot of trouble outside of the ring, so that kind of hurt a lot of his marketability.
Right.
With those domestic violence cases.
Right.
Yeah, I heard something about that. So what was that all about? Like was he slapping his?
Married to Jennifer Michael. He lived in San Antonio. I think over in Jamaica.
Right.
And he had been arrested a couple of times for domestic violence, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I think that kind of like messed him up as far as some of the things he probably could have done in his career.
I mean, if he would have got arrested, like in real life arrested, he probably would have been a lot more marketable as far as like movies and things of that nature. But I don't think he did.
What you mean?
I said I think he would have been more marketable if he didn't get arrested in real life.
Right. He probably would have.
But because it like just like any job or any real life thing, if you get arrested for domestic violence, you're like, oh, you're prone to violence. Okay, let me step back from you a little bit.
I think they kind of, how can I say it? I think they try to sweep it under the carpet and then keep on moving on. But it was just like, it kind of got too big with the domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they tried to, but I think it kind of derailed them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think like that whole personality and the marketing machine was too strong. Because it kind of, not saying, because Stone Cold is that rebel. So, it kind of, you kind of don't expect him to act right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with what he did, but you don't expect him to act right.
Of course, you don't expect him to act right, but
yeah, I don't agree with what
people
he did,
forget that it's an act, it's an image.
Right.
And because I would forget that, I'd be like, hey, Stone Cold, you gonna stun him? Like, what you gonna do? Like, he ain't trying to be out in public eating and somebody walk up to him and try to stun him, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell?
Right.
I'm not at work, but they forget that they become such big stars that they forget that normal people are not gonna look at you as a normal person. Just like Shawn Michaels, he lives here in San Antonio, and people will see him. And I'm pretty sure, like, hey man, you gonna super kick me or whatever. And people say he's a jerk. They say he's a jerk, and
most people know Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was a high school in San Antonio.
Right, and where did he go?
Randolph.
He was a Randolph.
Oh, he was a Randolph?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a Randolph.
I did not know that. I didn't know he was a Rohawk. Well, he went to Randolph, but here's the thing. What I didn't know is that he was also a sports broadcaster at one point too. Like he was on the news for the sports section.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But I think that like I said, you look at these wrestlers, man, who what they was able to do, the rock that he needed to do. He was a great entertainer. He entertained people. He had the look. He wasn't too dark for the, so he was a marketable black person. So that's still a stigma right there.
Right.
Light skinned black folk is a little bit more marketable than dark skinned, so that's still a thing. But I think overall, as far as the wrestling career, in-ring wrestling, Stone Cold is the best. We do it in the ring. In-ring performance. In-ring performance, Stone Cold, without a doubt. When it comes to, like I said, the other aspect of it, the entertainment part of it, then I would go with Stone.
Right. So I mean, they both had their strong points, and that.
Right.
That's all I was saying. Like when he said Austin 316 has whipped your ass. That to me just I was like I'm an automatic fan right now. So I was an automatic fan, like, but I wasn't around when he did all that. I was more around like when he kind of like became the bad boy, and I had to read up on my history on him. Like, oh, okay, this is what he was before.
But see,
he always had that attitude. He always was in WCW, wasn't with Brian Pillman. He was a beast. He always been a beast, man. He was a dog, man. It's just I don't think the WCW used him right. That was the biggest issue. That's why he ended up leaving the WCW, going to the WWF, because they weren't really using him the right way and reaching into his full potential.
So So you think if he would have never came to WWE, do you think Stone Cold would have been as big as he was?
I think if Stone Cold would have never came to the WWE would have got dull, and we wouldn't have had no attitude era. But there was no particular wrestler that truly identifies with the attitude era than Stone Cold. He is the catalyst. The whole attitude era revolves around him. At the end of the day, it revolves around him.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of
a whole lot of that scenario if you don't have an attitude era.
I don't feel like I disagree with that in the sense that I feel like the Attitude Era was like a combination of everybody. So I feel like
I'm talking about the foundation. The foundation.
and that's what I mean. But see, the Attitude Era to me is like all these people like saying, "Hey man, I'm gonna do this." It's kind of like if you do. To me, I'm not saying the Civil Rights Movement. See, the Civil Rights Movement is Malcolm and Rosa Parks and MLK. It's everybody. You know what I mean? Okay.
So, let me tell you what I think.
Okay. But this is what it. Okay. Okay.
That was part of the Attitude Era, right?
Right.
Who did they have a feud with?
Okay, they had it with Stone Cold, but let me say this real quick.
Okay,
Let me say this real quick. But I feel like DX had their own little rebel thing. The Rock had his.
But they built it off of Stone Cold.
But no,
he actually just come out and start doing this, talking about some sucky, carrying on like let's get rid of the sucky.
But everybody had their own thing.
But
and then you had Mankind. Mankind was crazy, dude. You had the Undertaker.
Yeah, but Stone Cold was the foundation. That's what I'm trying to say.
But like that's what I'm saying.
He was the foundation of if there's no Stone Cold, there's no attitude.
Actually, do you think DX would have come out and just been like telling Vince McMahon suck it? No.
I don't think it would have been there. Because I don't think, because here's the thing, I don't think the other wrestlers had the ball to, because you gotta remember, Stone Cold was already on edge when he was in WCW. That was one of the issues they had with Steve Austin. Not the character, the person. Some of the stuff he said on air. They already had an issue with that. And because he had that attitude and that swag. And they did, that's what the issue was. They didn't know what to do with him but Vince just let him run wild. Because you gotta remember, before Stone Cold, Vince McMahon didn't do anything in the ring.
Right. He was the one to get Vince McMahon in the ring.
Yeah, Vince McMahon was a commentator. He was the owner and the commentator. He didn't even really. The only time Vince McMahon ever really got involved in the match is when he screwed on Bret Hart over in Montreal.
Montreal Screwjob.
Right, but you look at the first time when Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels and poured that beer on him. That was a man. Stone Cold did so much vile stuff, man. And he set the tone for And I really believe there was no Stone Cold Steve Austin. There was no attitude. Somebody had to set the tone.
That's exactly what he did. He made sure he came out there and he raised the bar too high, but he ain't lower it to where.
I just feel like the Attitude Era was everybody.
Somebody had to set the tone, though. Somebody had to set the pace.
It was never been. It's like, you know what? It's like this. You know, you have to have the cap. And like I said, it was just thinking of everybody, needed everybody. But the reality is, you could have started without Stone Cold, there's nobody that could have initiated that kid. So if you look at the style of wrestling they had, let's eliminate Stone Cold. Let's see what we had.
All right.
Before the attitude. The Undertaker was who he was. But that wasn't a part of the attitude. The dark thing, it wasn't until after the Attitude Era that he became the American Badass.
Okay.
Right.
He became, so you go to that, he transformed into the American Badass. He got rid of the dead look.
Right.
Shawn Michaels guys, but they wouldn't have been in the attitude era. Their gimmicks wasn't about that. Even the Rock had this corny dude when he wear that little ugly outfit he had and all that hair. So when you look at the wrestlers, even though Hunter Hearst and Triple H will be going to down. Hunter Hearst held on Carolina. I mean, he was like Carolina. He was just British. He was supposed to be from Connecticut and all this stuff. Remember, he was a proper dude. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys did not fit the mold. But Stone Cold has already, even when he was studying Steve Austin, already had that attitude before he even came to WWE. And when he came as the ringmaster, came to the ringmaster, Ted, the $1 million man brought in. And he was $1 million, he had $1 million belt. And he just brought a whole different attitude, man. Because one thing about Stone Cold, he was really one of the first wrestlers in the WWE besides the Road Warriors. He was one of the first wrestlers in the WWE. You didn't know whether he was a heel or a face.
Right.
He was one of the first heels that everybody loved.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, man. Some other guys, they had their own ideas and all that, but none of that would have happened without Stone Cold.
Yeah, he brought about the fact that, like I said, many people like want to Stone Cold stun that box, or RKO or where or F5 or where. What do you call it? Used to call it FU, he called it F5, right?
FU.
Well, what's the FU?
The F5 is
that's Lesnar. Yeah. F5 is Lesnar. FU is Cena. Super kick. All that stuff we care about, and Stone Cold wasn't around because those are more like, what FU is FU. It's like the F5 is like, I'll hit you with like a tornado super kick. I'm gonna kick your head off. I'm trying to kick your head off.
But do you think the Attitude Era would have ever happened without the competition with WCW?
What was that question?
Do you feel like the Attitude Era would have ever happened if they didn't compete with WCW? Because WCW was winning.
I think the Attitude Era would have probably happened anyway. I think because they would need because the WWF was getting their behind whooped by the WCW at the time.
Right.
And so I think they needed a change. And man, and that's who skyrocketed that thing, man. 1996, King of the Ring, man. And after that, man, the Attitude Era was perfect.
But see, man.
And I remember for the longest, because you got to remember the three main wrestlers and the main two people that was really switching out title runs, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Bret Hart, that was the Attitude Era pretty much ended with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels standing in Shawn Michaels the Triple H at the time he evolved. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't have wrestlers man pouring beer because he had that ECW kind of swag, but he wasn't an ECW wrestler. You know what I'm saying? But I think everything was booked after that. But I just don't think the other wrestlers would have. I don't think the Attitude Era would have been as successful without Stone Cold.
Man, you don't think The Rock could have did it? Because The Rock.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I think because you got to remember, The Rock had to take care of our nation of denomination before he even got, he had to
with Farouk and D'Lo Brown, right?
Right.
Yeah, he had to be carried. And then eventually, they kind of launched him out. But, man, when it came, it was, but I don't think The Rock could have done it. I don't think The Undertaker could have done it. I don't think Triple H could have done it. Austin already had the attitude to do it. one of the reasons, I'm just going to brag, I'm going to be honest. You know one of the biggest reasons why Austin was able to do that? Because he's from Texas.
Right.
And most wrestlers that are from Texas already have that attitude. You look at Stan Hansen. You look at the old school Dusty Rhodes before he became a good guy. You look at the Wyndhams, Barry Windham, and Black Jack Mulligan, his dad. So you look at some of these Texas, even Chris Lionel. So you look at the attitudes that some of these Texas wrestlers already had, and you bring that to the WWE, and what do you think you got?
You got some foundation for attitude era.
Yeah, because Texas, when you almost get done, y'all feel young, but I feel like you up watching WCCW. And those guys were running, man.
What do you think? Do you see any wrestlers right now that you feel would be good in a program, like a couple matches with The Rock or Stone Cold?
I'm going to tell you which wrestler I think currently today that's getting screwed and not getting a real push. And I think he's one of the fastest wrestlers in the WWE. And one of the problems I have with the WWE is they take wrestlers from other organizations that are high quality athletes and they don't give them no type of push. The Roman Reigns does not need a push. He's horrible. But I'm going to name two wrestlers. AJ Styles was the best wrestler on the planet, man. And Robert Roode.
And who?
And Robert Roode.
Yeah, but see, you know what? I think with AJ Styles, man, AJ Styles is a lot like Demon Ligo in that you look good, you really do cool stuff, but where's the personality at?
Right. So I think, like I said, I think a lot of, like I said, people like Bobby Roode,
Right.
They, you have to remember, a lot of these wrestlers don't have really great mic skills.
But see, I think
the AEW was taking a lot of these wrestlers that got good mic skills.
But see, I think with Bobby Roode, and that's why I kind of say, man, with wrestling, it's not really about technical skill because Bobby Roode, man, is a great wrestler, like you were saying. But I think they should have. If they gonna bring Bobby Roode, I think they should have did it with Beer Money and then found a way to separate them.
Well, what's the name they come with? So, but Bobby Roode is a better single wrestler. Even with Beer Money 8, it's just the fact that when there's a band that people are creating a character, that's not a good character for them. And the WWE has a big habit of destroying. Like for example, I don't like no damn Goldust, but I like Dustin Rhodes.
Goldust was a different kind of wrestler, though. Like, that.
No, but the Rhodes, when he was Dustin Rhodes, he was covered.
Yeah, but Goldust was like he's that.
Goldust. But before that, man, he was a respected wrestler. That's what I'm saying. The W.
But he went back to Dusty Rhodes, didn't he?
No, my Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes went back to that. Went back. He left Goldust and went back to his normal Dusty Rhodes, right?
No, he ain't Dustin Rhodes. He's back to Goldust now. Well, I don't know what he is. He's in AEW also. But I just think now there's no real wrestlers out there. I think I can really say that are talented as far as mic skills and ring and that total package right now. I don't think nobody's. I don't see anybody right now.
I mean, no, you're right. You're right.
I think Roman Reigns is terrible on the mic and in the ring.
Roman Reigns.
I never really watched Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is a big dude. And what you would kind of have to do with him is kind of do what you do with Kevin Nash. Is you had to create this big dude and you have to give him that. I don't. Like he got to be a bad man. You can't. You got to say I don't have that. I don't care swag. And like when he beat people up, you believe it. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I think he's good. Like he can work to me. I just feel like he forced down your throat. And so it's just like with Cena, when people are forced down your throat, they kind of, you don't want to see them. But I mean, like, it can go. Roman Reigns can go. I don't like the Superman punch. That's real gimmicky. I feel like if he set somebody up, like it's a setup move, you know how The Rock had the rock bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Because you really ain't gonna knock nobody out with the rock bottom. But it creates this excitement. You know what I mean? So you got a Samoan dude that's more close to 7 foot, a huge dude that look like you don't want to see Roman Reigns in the alley. Let's be real. We don't want to see a dude that size in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if he's super punching, so that Superman punch, it needs to be a setup move. And and then if it's a setup move, man, he need to have a move that's like you pick him up and you bump him and you ain't getting nothing.
Right.
But I mean, I think Roman Reigns. You see, they don't know how to write. They don't know how to write people no more.
Right.
And so if you write. It's like John Cena would have been the greatest villain ever. I like, I even like what they did with Bayley. You know what I mean? How she was a villain. I like that because
Right.
I just liked it because she was awkward with it, and it was like how they cut her hair. I like the whole thing with what they did with Bayley, and I don't think she should have lost. I think she should have lost at WrestleMania,
Right.
because Bayley can't come back. I don't think she can't come back to that what she was before.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, she needs to stay here.
Right.
But I don't know. See, to me, wrestling nowadays, they don't have that. They don't know how to
create a story.
Well, it's just like with Bayley. It's just like did her win some matches? She earned it. So, but you don't have what's up, girl name? You don't have a man no more. You don't have her. So why Bayley can't run it? This is her running.
What? Now, who's this again?
You don't have what's her name? The one that used to be called the man, Becky Lynch. So you don't have Becky Lynch anymore. So since you don't have Becky Lynch anymore, why can't she just run the show? Let her run it.
Well, I think but like I said, it's just the way the writers they create that, man, and that's the problem. That's the problem. It's the way the writers set that thing up, man.
Right. So, man, I don't know. I just think like The Rock to me, man. I like like Stone Cold. I like Stone Cold, man. I really do. Like the Broken Skull Ranch, man. I watched it because Stone Cold was on there, man. They had Tough Enough, and they had he was when he was a trainer, man. I watched it. Like Stone Cold, man. Love Stone Cold, man. But to me, The Rock just had that. He had everything, man. Like girls like him. The dude like him. He would say some cool stuff, man. Nobody say cool stuff in The Rock. And he looked like an athlete. Like to me, like when he fought Cena, I'm like, okay, I get it. Because to me, they the same wrestler in the sense that they got these high impact moves. They look good when they do it. They're athletic. They don't have a lot of moves, but to me, they don't need a lot of moves. You know what I mean? So because like to me, when they wrestle, they good sized dudes, man. So when they put you in like a headlock or something real simple to set something, to me, they know how to set something big up. You know what I mean? So it's just like when they hit you, they hit you. So, you know, and that for a dude that size, because really what you're doing with Cena and The Rock, you're trying to create a superhero. And you know Superman ain't gotta put you in headlock. He gotta put you in headlock so he can do something great. Make it look great.
I think, man, they're both great. They're both great.
They are.
They're both great. And I think head-to-head matches to WrestleMania, I think Stone Cold got the edge. And but they put on great matches. They put on great matches. I just believe that Stone Cold set the path, set the way, and opened the door for the Attitude Era for people to be exist. I think it gave more wrestlers the freedom to be who they are, be themselves. That's all I really got to say on that, man. I think that's good. Yeah. But I don't think he's really great. But I would go with Stone Cold. I don't think Stone Cold.
I mean,
because watching Stone Cold longer than The Rock. I'm looking at, I'm judging his whole career from the time he was with the WCW and WCW.
what I can say about both of them is that they can set up a WrestleMania main event, either one of them.
Why?
And I think, what I like about Stone Cold, I wanted Stone Cold to fight CM Punk. And I think, like, The Rock, like somebody like AJ Styles, or to me, I don't know what's wrong with Randy Orton. I don't know what's wrong with Randy Orton. But The Rock needs to, somebody like The Rock needs to kind of, have a couple matches with Randy Orton, because it's like you fight Edge, you go against Edge, and it's just like for some reason it's not an interesting match. And Randy Orton got all the intangibles, all of it. And just like what's the name got all the intangibles? AJ Styles. Rude got it too, but they don't want to use Rude.
But I think the writers are terrible now. I don't think the writers are good now.
No, they're not.
And I think that's where people like Randy Orton and some of these hot tier guys, and then also you got to know, we don't know which guys are dealing with the injury. We don't know which guys are dealing with wellness, if they feel the wellness, thing or whatever. But you never know, man. Because these guys are wrestling for a long time, day in, day out. And some of these guys don't want to wrestle like that every day.
Right. What do you think? How do you like? What do you think about Booker T?
Booker T, I believe, is highly underrated wrestler.
Right.
Very talented. One of the best wrestlers on the planet, man. I think from his time with all the way through, becoming the WCW champion, coming transition over to WWE, man. He's a great athlete, man.
He even had beef with Stone Cold at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Stone Cold and The Rock, they both, you can put them against anybody and it's realistic. It looks good. I give both of them that. Let me see. I really want to see Stone Cold fight CM Punk. I like the CM Punk, man. He could talk. I like them boots for some reason. I love the boots, man.
I saw his. I didn't see his match. His one and only match. He had two matches in the UFC, and he got spanked in both of them. But he learned real quick that WWF and UFC are two completely different fighting entertainments. He learned that UFC is quite the realness of it. But I do give CM Punk the respect that he deserves for actually getting out of the ring and at least trying to battle in another area.
I mean, but I think CM Punk kind of seen that Vince McMahon don't care about you, and and then his wife was there too, AJ Lee, and I respect both of them because they was like, okay, we would make this money,
We're out.
we're not cattle, and we out. He treat them people like cattle, and one day I hope Congress or somebody come in and look at what he's doing to people and be like, that's not right, man. You can't have these people go from one place to another place and they, working all these hours and days without their family and call that right, man. And to me, it's just like, if the NFL did the wrestlers like McMahon does if the NFL does its players like McMahon does the wrestlers, man, somebody would shut that down. But nobody, I don't know why nobody stands up to McMahon. And McMahon is an excellent businessman. Wrestling would be nowhere near where it's at without McMahon, but I just hate the way he treats the people, man. It's not right.
Right. I agree.
It's true. Man doesn't really care about his people at all. I mean, if you look at it, I didn't know that, but Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were actually dating, like for real. And I read about y'all remember China?
Yeah.
I didn't know that him and China were dating for real, and then it became like a big. They played it out on the show, but in actual life, he actually was talking to Stephanie McMahon behind China's back.
I wish somebody would help China.
She dead now?
No, I mean, I wish somebody would have helped her.
I think she could have. I think if she when DX broke up, I think if somebody would have helped her, she would have blown up on her own instead of kind of just fading off into it. Because she kind of just faded out.
Well, I think she got, cause it was crazy, man. Cause it was just like, I think she was like a freak.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I'm not a woman, but I think it was to me, I think she didn't want to be a freak. She wanted to just be like a regular person. And it was just like, they kind of,
you don't see a bunch of bodybuilding women out there.
Yeah, but I think she was I think she wanted to feel attractive. You know what I mean? I think she wanted somebody to feel like she was a woman.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Problem is she had arms bigger than me and you put together.
Yeah, but she wasn't an ugly girl.
No, she wasn't ugly. She wasn't ugly at all.
But she was just a big chick. And, it was just like, she didn't look bad, it was just she was big. And then I just think her being with Triple H, they probably worked out together.
They did.
Yeah.
They showed a video of working out together.
And then I just think, it gotta be embarrassing for the whole world to know that somebody just put you out there like that. And I wish somebody would have just been like, helped her out, you know what I mean? Because that gotta be embarrassing.
But she died at 40. She died at 45. She was relatively young. She wasn't very old at all.
That's what I'm saying. But she got into porn. She got into drugs.
She got into porn?
Yeah.
I know she was on Playboy, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She got into Playboy. She got into porn. She got into drugs.
So she just, like I said, she faded out. She faded out, just like the Olsen twins,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good job, man. I'm gonna shut it down for the night, man. I appreciate y'all letting me jump on with y'all, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. We appreciate you coming in, spreading some knowledge for us as always. The wrestling guru Sledge.
Right, wrestling his story.
Yeah, great time, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
All right, take it easy.
So, episode 20 is going to be with a friend of mine. His name is Winston Romo. And he was a rapper, he was reborn. He want to come on the show and kind of tell us what he's doing now.
This is Stay Woke in San Antonio?
Huh?
This is going to stay, you said Stay Woke in San Antonio?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we gonna figure out what he want to talk about. But he wants, that's what we had talked about earlier. Stay Woke San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
But he did so many different things, man. So it's pretty cool. He did business. He was a rapper.
Okay.
So he was telling me trying to get produced, and so we just gonna figure out what angle he wants to talk about. So he's an interesting guy, you know what I mean? Because he's just not a rapper. He's just not a business person. He's a cool person. So yeah, that's why Stay Woke San Antonio is pretty cool. And what's so sad, I'm thinking about San Antonio rappers, just like what D-Wayne was telling us about that. It was Texas Bama. We don't want to promote. We don't want to promote people from here.
Yeah,
That's
San
sad.
Antonio is very non-promotional city. That's why a lot of people move from San Antonio to Houston.
Right.
So my message to anybody out there that's in San Antonio, Atlanta,
Yeah.
and move these bigger cities, we need to start promoting our own, guys. I know that, we're me and Darnell are right here in San Antonio. I'm from the north of the east side, northeast side. And he's from the east side. He's from the east side, and we're both in San Antonio. We're not gonna move to Atlanta. We're not gonna move to LA to promote this show and be paying thousands of dollars for a one-bedroom apartment like I got right now. But we're not gonna be doing all that. We're gonna stay right here in San Antonio, and we're gonna promote local talent. So, I guess can I throw that out there? Like, if you are a local talent and you want to come on the show, come on at us. Inbox, JPZ. Kind of telling you.
Yeah, but my Facebook is Darnell Porter.
Yes, his is Darnell Porter. Mine's Benny Newsom. You can't miss us. We look the same on our pictures. His is black and gray. His is black and white. But mine is pretty much what you see is what you get. Like you'll see me on there. Inbox me like, hey man, I want to be on your show. I just kind of promote myself. We have no problem promoting local talent, whatever it is. If you're an airbrush artist, if you just want to talk about something, you just want to get it out there. Hey, sometimes you gotta start small before you get big, and that's what we're just trying to do. We're trying to just carry on normal conversation and every day, and talk about everyday life, and talk about things that people talk about all the time. And
it's like some really great people in San Antonio. And
really good talent here.
Because
sports talent too.
Sledge is from San Antonio. But like me being a semi-pro player for like 12 years, I played 12 seasons, and man, that puts it. They got some people. If you ever go to semi-pro game, man, you'll see with some really good talent, and it just sometimes they weren't promoted right. And I've always been the type of person, man, that I feel that if you're not shooting nobody, if you're not drug dealing, if you're not,
if you're not a bad boy, you don't get looked at.
You should support the people that try to do good in their life, man. You know what I mean? You should support, like, if you got, man, I know people that, little girls and little boys that play baseball, softball, football. Go watch them play, man. You never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I used to have a friend, and like Gary Williams, I used to go watch his son play football. He played at Samuel Clemens. I live on the east side. But one day they played East Central, we would go. It's like, if we felt like driving, me and my mom would go. It's just, you got to support people, man, that try to do good with their life.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
general support in general. You know, I my boy D Corn. You know, his daughter was playing a basketball game. Like any sports, man, anything like I even go to recitals. I even though I don't really personally like recitals all the time, but I'll go. You know, and it's just about support, San Antonio. Let's support each other and stop tearing each other down. Oh, look at this joke trying to. Now he's trying to rap 40, you know.
I want to talk about the Canelo fight, man. I really want to talk about that, man. I want to talk about that because, man, that San Antonio, you did that totally wrong, man. Why is it on the TV? I drove by the Animal Dome, and that's how I knew it was going to be here. And I mean, why wasn't on 98.5, man? Canelo is like
Canelo's a big time middleweight boxer name. And a lot of times, I never knew who the hell Canelo was in the first place when he first came down here. So when he first came out, I said, who the hell's Canelo? And why is it, like, there's a boxing match here? Like, I didn't know about Canelo. I didn't know who the hell he was. So I'm like, okay, Canelo's coming here. So then when I heard about him, and now he's here again, it's like this, shh, no, don't tell anybody he's coming to San Antonio. Like, I mean, just promote, San Antonio, promote.
And the way they did it, man, let me tell you, man, I didn't really think he would come down there because I was just like, because I drove by it and I'm like, well, why ain't heard about it? You know what I mean? So basically, man, I wanted to go see him. And because I figured, like, for you to see somebody in their prime, take the race out of it. Take everything out.
No matter, yeah.
Take that out.
Canelo's a hell of a fighter,
man. So that's you know.
Canelo's a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, hell of an athlete. So you know, so that's like some Vegas type stuff to me when you see somebody in their prime. So basically, man, I go down there and I was really excited, man. You know what I mean? And because I'm like, this to me was like an opportunity I want to do. And sometimes you might have money saved up for something else, you know, like, and I had money for a trip. And I didn't go on trips. I'm like, man, I'm going to use that for this. So I go down there, and I'm really excited, man. Like, I left my keys in my car home, man. So I'm going down there, and I figure I'm going to get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the box office, and then they tell me, you can't buy one ticket. And I'm like, well, what do you mean I can't buy one ticket? And so, I know it's short notice and it's Christmas and you gotta spend some money. And so I was just like, okay, well, this is gonna be my Christmas present to myself. And so I was like, all right, man. So they said you gotta buy 2 tickets. And I'm like,
how much is one ticket?
Yeah. Man, they got tickets starting from like $255 all the way to about
$255. You're gonna be way up in the nosebleeds.
Right. No. They had some pretty good tickets for $255.
Oh, okay.
$255, like $300, and then like if you want to be by yourself, you had to spend like $1,000. I wasn't gonna spend that. So
not for Canelo. No, Canelo ain't paying my bills.
So
and Canelo's bills by paying.
Right. So basically, so I know some people like they just like kind of at the box office, they just waiting around. So what they waiting around for is because they need 8 people to buy a $300 ticket, a ticket for $255. So I see these people, they're coming in from Los Angeles. So it's a son and a father and son. So they looking at me like, hey man, we gotta find more people. And I said, stay man. I said, I don't know you, you don't know me. But if you sit by me, if I'll sit by you, I got. I want to spend like most of them spend $300. Man, all right. They said, come on. So we have to actually sit in the front of the Animal Dome and look for 2 people. No, we had to look for 2 people. We had to look for enough people to buy a ticket, and they became cross the country. So basically, we needed 8, we got up to 7. There's a couple, they flew in or drove in from Phoenix. That made it 9. So we walked up to them, and I don't know these people. They were very nice people, very nice people. And they walked up to them, and they said, "Hey, we got 9 people. Can you work it out?" They said no. They said no. They wouldn't do that.
Somebody calling you, bro.
But they said,
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nobody ever called me, but they said no. Okay, so they basically said no, and so I just told them, hey, I ain't gonna go. So long story short, man. So basically, there was another person that came up to me and they was like, "We need 5 people." So we have to go. We all have money, so we have to go tomorrow at 10 o'clock and search for another person that we don't know, so we might take it. Something wrong with that. Something's really wrong with that.
There's a serious disdain I have for that because that would make me not want to go to any boxing matches, period. I'd probably rather go to a local Golden Gloves match. Excuse me. Yeah, some common now, but that ain't sound right. I'd rather go to a local Golden Gloves match, an amateur match, where I can buy a regular old ticket than to have to sit here and find people I don't know that I'm not going to ever hang out with in life again, probably, just to get a ticket to a big name boxer. It just doesn't make any sense. So I guess long story short, San Antonio, all we're trying to say is promote each other and stop tearing each other down, because I see so much of this negativity.
But people, I'm sorry, but people, this out. So you going with people you don't know, and you would think they would be like, okay, say it's $1,500, and they divide it into 5 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're only gonna take one person's card. Or all y'all gotta have cash. Oh yeah, there's chicken shit like that. It's real chicken shit.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's real chicken shit. It's real chicken shit. And I want to put you on blast because that's real chicken shit. Yeah, it's real chicken shit. But go ahead. That's real chicken shit.
That just doesn't make any sense.
That's real chicken shit. I don't know. But
I want to have cash, and then you want to take one debit card.
No. You have to have cash.
You have to have cash, but they only take a card.
No. You have to have cash, or one person got to spend like
$1,500 on a card.
Right. Because see, with us, when there 8 people, it would have been close to like $3,000.
Right.
Okay. So one person had to give. You had to give money to a Zelle or something like that. Zelle. You had to give money to a Zelle to a person you never met before.
Mm.
You don't want to be chicken shit with them. Well, I don't know you. Yeah, it's real chicken shit. So all these people that were from out of town had to look in their pockets and see if they had the money, because they didn't have an ATM out there.
Of course not. You had to go to the ATM before you got there. But
wow,
it just. Anyways, the Canelo fight obviously is it's a bunch of crap. It's just a bunch of antics that are going on. But all I'm saying is, San Antonio, promote each other. That was a show about Stone Cold versus The Rock. The next show is
episode 20. We're gonna have Winston Romo, also known as Reborn, your rapper, businessman.
So that's 20 episodes, y'all. I mean, we're y'all been with us too from episode 1 to where we had 7 viewers to now today. And excuse me if you caught me kind of like napping. I had to work a 12-hour shift today, and I'm still kind of feeling the effects of the corona. So yeah, but
But we appreciate y'all coming.
I'm real with it, so I ain't gonna lie.
I was just dozed off and say nothing but we appreciate y'all coming on, man. Subscribe, like, share. Hey man, come into episode 20. Man, if you know any of the people, man, shout them out, man, and
stick with us, man.
Man. We're gonna get bigger. In episode 100,
we're gonna
find a way to make it live.
We're gonna try to find a way to make it live. Kind of recap on all the people we've had on here. So if you, get on while the getting's good, because once it gets hot, it gets hot. So y'all safe out there. Keep your mask on. Keep a mask on your face, please. Keep a mask on your face. I do not want to have to put you on blast. I will. I will have a blasting session if I see people with their mask off.
And I want to say one thing, man, real quick. If somebody has a corona, or they had a corona and they quarantine,
support that person.
Support them and do not make them feel like they are a germ, a leopard, or something like that, man. Because they didn't try to get that, man.
Yeah, it's not like we're out there looking for some corona.
Right.
Well, I'm Ben the Awesome Newsome.
I'm JP the Creator, man.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.